The following program is brought to you by the Midas Gold Group.
This is the Gold Standard from Midas Gold Group with Kenneth Russo. Hello, I'm Dave Deno. Welcome to the Gold Standard, your source for secure investment opinion and information on the advantages of purchasing and owning precious metals. Whether you're a novice investor or an experienced collector, this is the program that gives you a realistic weekly perspective on the state of the economy, reliable information about using precious metals such as gold, silver, and platinum to safeguard your wealth, and remarkable details about specific precious metal coins and bullion. Ken Russo is a senior vice president at Midas Gold Group, and his peers characterize him as a straight shooter who will work harder for you than anyone else. Ken, welcome. It's always good to be with you.
Yes. Good day to you today, Dave.
Let's take a look at what's going on in the world today. First of all, our topic is reasons why smart investors own gold. But before we get to that, I want to take a look at the news of the day. And to begin with, I was shocked when I heard that 2021 had the highest rate of inflation in 4 decades, in 40 years, over 7%.
Yeah, and all we keep hearing from every expert out there is that it's going to go away, right? And it's going to go back down, and it's transitory. And, I mean, that's pretty outrageous to just think of in itself. I mean, everything I buy is 10%, 20%, 30% more expensive, whether it be, clothes, household appliances. I had to buy a toilet bowl seat, a new one, because the other one was cracked last night, and I had to buy one 3 or 4 years ago, and this one was at least 25% more expensive than the same one that I bought 3 or 4 years ago. So
Wow.
It's not going away, Dave, and everything that's going on politically, financially, economically is going to make it worse. So that's important.
I saw a headline this week. It said that a billionaire hedge fund manager said that an inflation-induced recession is imminent. That's, we talked about this in a previous program about warning signs, and boy, are we getting a lot of warning signs these days.
Yeah, and nobody has a crystal ball, so maybe he's right, who knows. But what I would say is that we've been in a fake economy for 40 or 50 years of just printing money and debt and piling on debt, corporate debt, government debt, consumer, individual debt. And eventually that's going to come to a head. And, eventually this debt will matter, Dave. Eventually there will be a situation where, people can't pay what they're responsible for. It's just too much. The debt load is just too big. And I would say that's very important for what people should be thinking about today. All of this free money, all of this stimulus is the cause of all this that's going on. But this has been going on for 50 years at least. So this has been a long time in the making.
A reminder here, you're listening to the Gold Standard with Ken Russo from Midas Gold Group. Ken, let's dig into our topic today because this is one I am very, very eager to get into. Reasons why smart investors own gold. So where do we begin?
Well, that's a great question, and I think that, a foundational reason for every single investor out there is you have to own some different types of assets. You can't put all of your poker chips in the middle of the table at the same time and expect to keep playing for too long. And the main reason why investors or smart investors own gold, I would say, Dave, very simply, is the weak value of the U.S. dollar, the fiat dollar. How many times have you and I been talking about this over the last year? The U.S. dollar is a fiat currency, Dave, which means, again, to our audience that it is not backed by any physical asset. They can just print as many as they want right out of thin air, backed by nothing, okay? Now, this wasn't always the case. For decades, Dave, the U.S. dollar was backed by gold, okay? So the fact that the U.S. dollar today is not backed by gold now is very important to know, and there isn't a currency in the world, a fiat currency, that's backed by gold anymore. So they're all in the same boat. Now, for example, look at the ballooning budget deficit that the U.S. and the United States here continues to add to. I think the deficit last year or the year before. I'm sure last year was the biggest on record, but it could have been 2020 because of the beginning of the COVID situation. So the government spends and creates and prints out of thin air far more than it brings in through tax revenues. It's not even close. So it puts more pressure on the value of the U.S. dollar, Dave. So as the value of our money drops, and see if you can follow me, audience, here, it costs more and more to buy goods that we need for everyday survival: food, gas, utilities, education, healthcare, all that stuff, okay? So by investing in gold, you have an asset that has a much more stable future, and thus is a better investment than just keeping all paper fiat currency. Gold, Dave, holds your buying power. Physical gold.
Okay, that's the first of our reasons why smart investors own gold. Let's continue on that. What would be next?
Well, there's a big increase in demand for physical gold, especially in the last couple of years. And just look at the news releases that the different mints are coming out with, where demand for some of these gold products is up over 100% year over year. So we can see increased demand. And basic economics, Dave, teaches us that supply and demand work together. As demand rises, the price of a good increases. As more emerging markets evolve, they, along with their citizens, demand gold, as it's seen as a symbol of wealth, and it always has been. And as these economies continue to strengthen, Dave, and more citizens move into the middle class, you can be sure that the demand for gold will only continue to increase in the coming years. And more importantly, as the value of paper currency erodes, the demand for gold will increase.
One of the articles that I was reading lately said this, and it caught my attention because I wanted to actually print it out and put it in bold so I didn't miss it. Gold has for 5,000 years been the best protection in any crisis, and this time it is unlikely to be any different.
Well, we will have financial crisis. Who knows if there's going to be economic crisis, social crisis, political crisis, war crisis. I don't know. Just put any word in front of the word crisis, and we probably could have it in the next 5 to 10 years. But yeah, gold will help you sidestep that land mine and that minefield. And quite frankly, that's what it's always done. It's an asset that has stood the test of time. It holds your buying power, and we will have some tough financial and very hard times over the next few years before that we can turn the corner and have a better future. But gold should be an integral part of that survival system, especially financially.
A reminder here that you're listening to The Gold Standard with Ken Russo from Midas Gold Group, and today our topic is reasons why investors own gold. Smart investors, by the way, I might add. Ken, you have cited, the weak value of the U.S. dollar and increased demand for gold, but there've got to be more reasons as well.
Yeah, well, it's probably a whole bunch of reasons that we're even not talking about, Dave. But let's stick to what's basic, okay? I want our audience to understand that good monetary fundamentals for investing should be basic. You should be spread out, and you should have some tangible assets, and you should have some stuff that is just not speculation. That's what you and I have been talking about for a while. But with gold, Dave, there's also production constraints. It costs a lot of money to mine gold. And it's the fact that it can take easily close to 10 years to get a new mine running smoothly and at full capacity. And you can see why more companies are not, mining for gold at this particular time. And there's also an employment situation, a supply chain issue. So, there's a bunch of stuff that will probably affect, for sure, the gold market as well as affecting all of these other things that we're seeing in the economy today. Not to mention, there are many limits on how much, gold could be mined. This is because gold mining can have a negative effect on maybe the nearby environment. Some countries have strict regulations on gold mining. It's easy to see why. And as demand continues to increase for gold, though, Dave, and as there's a limited supply available, that's the equation where you could be pretty certain. Like I said, nobody has a crystal ball, But the trend is that the price of gold doubles every 7 years since 1971. So
Wow.
you can be certain that the price of gold will continue to rise.
Ken, you've given us a lot to consider, and I know we have even more coming up. But first, a reminder that you're listening to The Gold Standard with Ken Russo from Midas Gold Group, and today our topic is reasons why smart investors own gold. And in a few moments, we're going to take a look at a specific gold product that you can add to secure your wealth, and that's coming up right after this.
Dr. Sebastian Gorka here. Part of the so-called Great Reset from the multinational elite is to enact a digital wallet currency. Think of the implications. Time to create your own gold standard with a call to the dealer I do business with, veteran-owned Midas Gold Group, the America First precious metals experts who can help you with IRAs and more. Get your portfolio reset with gold and silver. Call Midas Gold Group for their guide to owning bullion and coins today. 855-322-GOLD. That's 855-322-4653 or MidasGoldGroup.com.
We're back with more of The Gold Standard, brought to you by Midas Gold Group with Ken Russo. I'm Dave Deno, and our topic today is reasons why smart investors own gold. By the way, if you live in the Los Angeles or Phoenix area, we invite you to come and visit our local office and meet with us in person. The address and directions are available on our website, MidasGoldGroup.com. MIDAS, MidasGoldGroup.com. For those of you listening in other cities, call us directly at 855-322-GOLD. 855-322-GOLD. By the numbers 855-322-4653. We're taking a look at reasons why smart investors own gold, and we're going to make this a little bit more tangible by looking at a specific gold product. Today, the Gold American Eagle. Now, Ken, this is a gold coin that is valued and sought after by gold buyers all around the world, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, Dave. And, for people who call in, if we're real busy at that particular moment, leave a message or, and we'll call you back. We'll get back to you, but to give people individual attention, take some time, and there's only so many people that we have manning the phones and trading, so have a little patience, but leave a message, visit our website, send in a email, and we will definitely get back to you. We're here Monday through Friday during the week. And yes, Dave, I mean the Gold Eagle, I mean you're talking about the 1 ounce Gold Eagle. It's the preferred government issued bullion coin of Americans and many international investors. It could boast the title, Dave, of the most popular gold coin in the world.
Wow.
It was first authorized by Congress in 1985, and this bullion coin was an instant smash. It reached iconic status almost overnight, Dave. The American Gold Eagle is quite simply an obvious choice for any serious gold investor. And they do call the Gold Eagle a bullion coin. A lot of confusion out there, is bullion just bars, or it's a coin or a bar that's just based on purity and weight. So yes, it's a bullion coin, the Gold American Eagle. And it's also available in the most common, as we know, 1 ounce size, but also a half ounce, Dave, a quarter ounce, and a tenth of an ounce, which is a real small, smaller than a dime size coin. Also, given its popularity, it gets minted at a relatively modest rate, so it's not that bad. A little over 1 million of these, I think, sold last year, so it's not too bad. And any chance to pick up this classic bullion coin, Dave, for wealth preservation, and remember, audience, we're talking about diversification, protection against the falling dollar and paper currency, protection against the falling stock market or the economy, which, if interest rates go up a lot, is going to get buried. Inflation. So how do you do this? Well, one of the easiest ways to do it is to diversify with some classic bullion coins, and one of them that should not be overlooked is the Gold American Eagle.
A reminder, you're listening to The Gold Standard with Ken Russo from Midas Gold Group. Today our topic is reasons why smart investors own gold, and we're going to get back to those reasons in just a moment, but we're looking at a very tangible reason for that right now. Ken, I want to kind of move ahead, you might say, and ask you if you can, as you hold one there in your hand, if you can give us a verbal description of it.
Yeah, well, let's keep it simple. It's a little browner in color than, let's say, a buffalo, which is 24 carats, because this is a 22 carat gold coin, but there's still the same amount of gold in there, 1 ounce, the one that I'm looking at. Now, the obverse side, or the head side, features a design that is a throwback to another classic American coin, Dave, the $20 St. Gaudens, which was minted from 1907 to 1933 here in the U.S. But that's when gold was nationalized and confiscated, and people were asked to turn in their gold, and the government wanted to make it illegal to own gold. How ridiculous and outrageous! Now the reverse, or the tail side, features a striking love scene between two noble members of our national avian species. A bald eagle brings an olive branch to the nest of a mother, female guarding her hatching babies. Now, in 2021, Dave, there was also a Type 2 gold American eagle that they came out, a new version. And then on the back of this coin, the front's the same, but on the back of the coin, it has a large side profile of the beautiful U.S. bald eagle.
I got to tell you, I'm happy to say that this one is in my collection because of your recommendation, and I want to pass that along to those of you who are listening today. Call Midas Gold Group and get this coin in your own supply. Get your copy of the Gold American Eagle. It is a very handsome and very hefty coin, I might say. You're listening to The Gold Standard with Ken Russo from Midas Gold Group, and today our topic is reasons why smart investors own gold, and we're going to continue in just a moment.
Sebastian Gorka here. The Biden-Harris administration is governing through an unprecedented number of executive orders. We have a good idea of what their agenda means for the country and for your finances. More debt, more regulations, slower growth, and higher taxes. There's even talk of a digital wallet currency and a so-called Great Reset. With massive new spending programs, the Fed is printing money even faster than before. This will likely cause the dollar to fall and gold prices to rise. That's why it's never been more important to own physical gold and silver, and the dealer I trust to do business with is veteran-owned Midas Gold Group. The experts at Midas Gold can even help you convert a portion of your IRA into physical gold and silver to stabilize your portfolio against the coming storm. Call Midas Gold Group for their guide to owning bullion and coins today. 855-322-GOLD. That's 855-322-4653 or MidasGoldGroup.com.
We continue now with the Gold Standard, brought to you by Midas Gold Group with Ken Russo. I'm Dave Deno. By the way, if you live in the Los Angeles or Phoenix area, again, we encourage you to visit our local office and meet with us in person. We would love to be able to answer your questions face to face. For the address and directions, just log on to our website, MidasGoldGroup.com. That's MIDAS, MidasGoldGroup.com. For those of you listening in other cities, call us directly at 855-322-GOLD, 855-322-GOLD. By the numbers, that's 855-322-4653. We're talking with Ken Russo, Senior Vice President at Midas Gold Group, and on today's program, our topic is reasons why smart investors own gold. Ken, you cited the weakening value of the U.S. dollar, increased demand for gold, and production constraints. There's only so much gold that can be mined out of the ground. Anything else that contributes to gold's value as an investment?
Central bankers that have acted like a circus show in the last 50 years. I mean, that's an important reason. So also debt. How many times do we have to talk about it, Dave? Eventually, the financial system will collapse underneath the weight of all of this debt. There's $300 trillion that they're telling us about or so in world debt and global debt, close to 30 trillion here in the United States, but it's probably over 200 trillion if you count all unfunded liabilities. So the debt situation will eventually matter. You just can't print and print and print and have as much debt and it doesn't matter. Oh, yes, it will. It will matter. So eventually, people need to be diversified. So diversification is very, very important. And the key to diversification, Dave, is owning assets that are not correlated to one another. If you have stocks and annuities and money markets and CDs and mutual funds and it's all paper. It's all dollar-denominated paper. So you have to diversify in some liquid products that are very easy to buy and sell. That's money all over the world. And one of the easiest things to do, Dave, is gold and silver, bars and coins. And that's why smart investors, own gold as well. This asset doesn't rise when stock market rises. It doesn't fall when markets fall. It has a whole mind and market of its own. All right, it's money. Of course, if the markets get extremely volatile, Dave, towards the negative, you can see everything spike one way or another. But over the long run, if you want something to diversify your paper holdings, and remember, we're encouraging people to take at least 25% of their paper holdings in such a risky speculative market right now and diversify. And gold is a main factor for that, especially for smart investors.
Ken, after all of this, then, what's the next step that a person could and should take?
One of the first steps that they can do is think about owning some physical gold. Buy gold. Take a portion of your paper assets and put it into something that over the next 5 or 10 years will be there, and pretty much should have a much higher value than it does today. Something you can get out of the banking system, something you can get out of the financial markets, something where you could kind of get your paper risk down and own something that is outside of that system. So give Midas Gold Group a call. We will spend time with you. We will educate you on the different products that you can consider, get to know what's bothering you, some of your other inspirations or aspirations over the next few years about you and your portfolio, and that'll start the process. And potentially gold could be and should be right for you.
What I love about you and the folks at Midas Gold Group is not only do you take the time to explain everything to us on the phone or in person if people visit you in person, but you also have the expertise to make this happen, to be able to move a portion of a person's investments or their ready cash into gold. And you can make the process pretty easy, can't you?
Yeah, it should be easy, Dave. We all have health insurance, or, if we get sick, we should have health insurance. We all have car insurance. If we get into a car accident, there's a policy. We all have different type life insurance in case something happens, and, it's there. But what's the insurance for our money? So gold has always been the life insurance policy for our money. It continues to be that. It's one thing that we're very good at. Nobody's a expert on everything. We don't pretend to be. We're not financial advisors. We're not financial planners. We are simply gold specialists that specialize in diversifying clients a portion of their paper assets into physical gold, silver, and platinum, retirement accounts as well. This is what we do, and we would urge people out there to have a good gold dealer at this time. It's very important. Find one. If you choose Midas Gold Group, great. We're honored and privileged, and we'll give you everything we got.
Well, you say have a good gold dealer. I got to tell you, that is why I own gold from you, from Midas Gold Group. So, Ken, thank you so much.
Oh, it's our pleasure, Dave.
And that's going to bring us to the end of our time together today here on the Gold Standard with Ken Russo, brought to you by Midas Gold Group. A reminder, opinions given here are not intended to be specific to your investment strategy, but rather general information to give you a better understanding of investing in precious metals. For answers to your questions, call Midas Gold Group at 855-322-GOLD, 855-322-GOLD, by the numbers 855-322-4653. And the website is MidasGoldGroup.com, M-I-D-A-S, MidasGoldGroup.com. This is something that I love reminding our listeners of at the end of our program each and every time, and that is that the Midas Gold Group is proud to be America's #1 veteran-owned gold dealer, supporting veterans' causes with a portion of profits donated to the Wounded Warriors Project and to the Semper Fi Fund. So your investment in your future is also an investment in the future of those who have bravely served the cause of freedom. Again, the number to call to speak directly with Midas Gold Group, 855-322-GOLD. Ken, thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, all the best, Dave. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. I'm Dave Deno, and I hope you will come and join us again next week at this same time for another edition of The Gold Standard.
The Gold Standard was brought to you by the Midas Gold Group.